Thank you, Brandon. Up next, this a lot of this protest and this rally is driven by you private citizens, just like me. I'm not really affiliated with any particular organization as of yet, but even though we have aligned with Indivisible KC, this is really a private citizen organized rally. And so we have a wonderful speaker who is a local resident and student, and her name is Gurjit Handel. Gurjit?
Hello, everybody. How are you doing? It is so wonderful to see so many people out here, especially in Kansas City. I am from the Kansas side, so, it's very nice to see so many like-minded people out here together, just representing. As Maggie said, I am just a local resident concerned about the direction that our country is going. I feel like there's more that brings us together and unites us than divides us. And right now, the focus right now is on division. And we need to come together and join as one people and show the people that are in charge that the people that they represent actually care and are concerned about their actions. So that's why I'm out here, and it's nice to see everybody else out here as well.
Keeping with the private citizen theme, Mark Armato is a local, has lived here for 30 years. He is a retired teacher, and he has something to say.
Do we have any nasty women here? Do we have any bad dudes? Hombres? Do we have any snowflakes? It gives me great pleasure. Excuse me. My name is Mark Armato. I want to establish that. This is my first time. I'm almost 60, and I've never had this experience, and it's about time. It gives me great pleasure to be with you today, united in our devotion and love for our country as well as our opposition to Donald Trump. We meet on President's Day, which it seems to me, in light of recent events, is both ironic and appropriate. Ironic because on this day, in which we join together to honor the great presidents of our history, we also unite to voice our opposition to a tyrant. But it is also appropriate that we voice our protest today, for it is on this day we are reminded of the qualities that makes a president great. It was men like Washington, Lincoln, FDR, Truman, Eisenhower and Kennedy, and yes, Obama, who gave us enduring examples of what a great president is like. We remember the honesty, the strength, and integrity of Washington and Lincoln. We remember FDR's compassion, his optimism, and personal courage. We remember the foresight and wisdom of Truman and Eisenhower, and we remember the youthful idealism and inspiration of Kennedy and the class and grace of Obama. We also remember these men for their character, their sacrifice, unwavering patriotism, and most importantly, their belief in America's democratic institutions and ideals. But it pains me to say Today we have a man in the White House who I believe, and I believe you believe, does not share these qualities. Let's say the truth. Instead, we have a pathological, narcissistic demagogue who exploits people's fears and prejudice for his own power and enrichment. Now, some of you might be saying, some of you are probably thinking, hey, Mark, all of those past presidents, well, they had 4, 8, and in one case, 12 years to demonstrate their greatness. Donald Trump's only been there a month. Why don't you give him a chance? To that I say, we gave him a chance when we asked him to reveal his taxes. Instead, he lied. And he said he would show them after he was elected, and we're still waiting. We gave him a chance when we insisted that he put his financial empire in a blind trust, but he refused, insisting that the emoluments clause of the Constitution does not apply to him. We gave him a chance to demonstrate his character, but instead he had bragged about using his power and status to grab women's genitals and dismissed it as simple locker room talk. We gave him a chance to show his compassion and patriotism, but instead he mocked the disabled, sneered at our veterans, and dishonored a Gold Star family, even going so far as to claim that his pursuit of wealth was a contribution to our country that somehow compared to the loss of the Khan's son in combat. We gave him a chance to show his loyalty to American institutions, but instead he accused the judiciary of politics, smeared the integrity of federal judges, and called the free press the enemy of the people. We gave him a chance to be a man of his word when he promised to drain the swamp, but instead he created a swamp cabinet filled with unqualified billionaire donors who do not believe in the mission of the agency that they've been appointed to. We gave him a chance to protect us, but instead he's only endangered us further by banning Muslims, thereby giving our real enemies a propaganda victory. He has aided our enemies even further by attacking the integrity of the intelligence community, even going so far as to compare it to Nazi Germany. We gave him a chance to prove to us that he possesses the temperament of a president. But he continues to discuss this with his tirades, tweeter tantrums, constant braggadocio, and lies. Nothing is too petty for him to rant about, whether it's about Nordstrom's, crowd sizes, Meryl Streep, the Hamilton's cast, Sweden, or Inauguration Day rain. We gave him a chance to speak the truth, but instead he has consistently lied to us from everything from crowd sizes, landslide victories, who will pay for the wall, unreported terrorism, and to fake massacres. But perhaps the most sinister, he has lied to us about fraudulent elections, claiming that millions voted illegally, depriving him of winning the popular vote. We have given him the chance to show us that he has the qualities of a statesman who can work with our allies and give us confidence in his ability to deal with difficult international situations. Instead, he has antagonized countries like Mexico, China, and Australia. He has caused confusion and doubt in important allies like Germany and Britain. But have you noticed, there is one country he seems to have no trouble getting along with at all. Russia. Isn't it strange how he criticizes and attacks our allies, but has nothing but praise for a notorious authoritarian regime? Even claiming a moral equivalency between ourselves and a country that imprisons and kills journalists and political dissidents. My friends, we gave him a chance, but he has failed miserably. What does it say about the character, the motives, the mental stability of a man for whom winning the presidency is not enough, who cannot accept the fact that a woman beat him in the popular vote by 3 million votes. Is this a bizarre manifestation of his pathological narcissism or something more sinister? Is this the action of a dictator who wishes to undermine people's faith in our electoral system to further his own nefarious ends? I submit it is both. For history has given us plenty of examples of tyrants consumed with narcissistic fantasies of their own greatness, who think they are the sole arbiters of truth and that they are above the law. Donald Trump, I believe, fits that bill. Some people say we're overreacting when we accuse Trump of being a tyrant. But history has shown that whenever a tyrannical government is installed, we can look to the past and we see a train of red flags that were warning signs. Consider Robert Reich's list of 15 warning signs of impending tyranny. How many of these have we seen so far? Tyrants exaggerate their mandate to govern, claiming they've won by a landslide even after losing the popular vote. They repeatedly claim massive voter fraud in the absence of any evidence in order to restrict voting in future elections. They publicly criticize anyone who criticizes them, labeling them enemies. They attempt to turn the public against journalists or media outlets that criticize them, calling them deceitful and scum. They hold few, if any, press conferences, preferring to communicate with the public directly through rallies and unfiltered statements. They tell the public big lies, causing them to doubt the truth and believe fictions that support the tyrant's goals. They blame economic stress on immigrants or racial or religious minorities and foment public bias and even violence against them. They attribute acts of domestic violence to enemies within and use such events as excuses to beef up internal security and limit civil liberties. They threaten mass deportations, registries of religious minorities, and the banning of refugees. They seek to eliminate or reduce the influence of competing power, such as trade unions and opposition parties. They appoint family members to high positions and authority. They surround themselves with their own personal security force rather than security detail accountable to the public. They put generals and other military commanders into top civilian posts. They make personal alliances with foreign dictators. And finally, they draw no distinction between personal and public property, profiteering from their public office. Thomas Jefferson once wrote that the price of freedom is eternal vigilance. My fellow patriots, we must continue to keep our eyes wide open and hold this president and the Congress accountable before his actions before it's too late. We must resist. Thank you. God bless America.
Right on, Mark. That's great.